What's going on, guys? I'm Vulkan, and today we're talking about how to get to that island. So this place has lots of things to loot and a special altar where you can unlock powerful new spells. But you might be wondering, well, how do I get there? Well, I got you covered with a super short video today that takes you from right here to over there. So firstly, you don't need any special items or unlocks before taking the trip there, as long as you're careful. But if you want to, you can purchase a torch from Kale to make seeing in the caves much easier. Now, if you don't want to buy a torch, that's fine too. You can just use the lock-on mechanic to see if there are any enemies hiding in the darkness in front of you. So once you enter this cave right over there, you can grab the grace point at the very beginning and then enter deeper. Now, there are going to be lots of enemies packed into this first chamber, and because it's super dark, you're going to have a hard time finding them without that trusty torch. So you can either do two things: run past them into the next area, or literally kill everything for extra runes. I would recommend just kill everything. That way you can prepare for the boss fight and not have to worry about everything kind of creeping up behind you. Now, once all of those enemies are dead, you can move into the next chamber. But before you do, make sure to click on the golden sign on the ground to summon a knight who's going to help you with this boss fight. This guy's going to be great. He's going to dish out some decent damage and pull aggro and keep one of the bosses, you heard me right, plural, occupied. So there are two ways to do this. First, you can sneak around and slowly kill all of the minions by assassinating them. This is going to help reduce the amount of enemies that you actually need to fight once things get a little bit hairy. Just make sure to avoid the big beast in the center of the room and the other big beast in the back of the room. Now, second, you can just go in Stallone style. Guns blazing and kill everything at once. Fight them all, just tooth and nail. I've done both, and both have worked out pretty well. So either way, what you're going to be doing is fighting the boss. Whether you go through and you kill the minions first, whether you go in and just literally start casting spells or swinging your sword, you're going to be fighting those bosses. Now, the bosses are a pair of demon chieftains, and these guys are uber aggressive. They have really strong and fast melee attacks, and you need to be on your toes. What you want to do is just kite one of them and then let the knight take aggro on the other while you whittle down the one that is on you. Once you take care of the first one that you're fighting, switch back over to the second one to help clean up the fight. Now, once the boss is dead, run all the way to the back of the chamber. Remember to loot everything in the chamber too, so don't just leave loot lying on the ground. Now, once you get to the back of the chamber, you're going to see this white pillar of light, and it's going to ask, do you want to head back to the entrance? This will instantly teleport you back to that grace that you picked up right at the beginning. You do not want to do this. Don't click this. Instead, proceed into the darkness behind it. Here, you're going to enter a new tunnel that has a few more enemies to kill before ultimately ending with an exit onto the island that you saw previously. That whole tunnel system was taking you underneath that channel of water and putting you out onto that island. Now, this is one of the many examples of hidden paths you're going to be finding in Elden Ring. So be sure to keep an eye out for anything that looks like, honestly, you could walk along it, you could walk up it, down it, or maybe even through it. So from here, make sure to scour the island for treasure beetles, dead bodies to loot, and in the very center of the island is the Temple of the Dragon, complete with a blood altar that lets you trade out a dragon heart for powerful spells. So everyone, I hope you enjoyed this quick video on how to get from the mainland to Dragon Island, also known as the Ritual of Dragon Communion. If you like action RPGs and want more action RPG content, consider subscribing. I cover a whole bunch of different games. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been Vulkan, and I will talk to you next time.